bigger than myself, but...
Now to the good.
Welcome, everyone. A little X for both teams. This is the first game of their NBA Cup campaign. The goal is to make it out of the group stage.
Yeah, B.A. 4 teams in each conference that make it. It's the 3 group winners plus a wild card. So also keep in mind, point differential could be a key in advancing.
Looking at the starting 5 for the Boston Celtics. White and Brown team up as the backcourt. Then there's Nikola Vucevic. Then it's Sam Hauser. And it's Walsh in at the 4-man position. And the jam by Brown.
There's the attacking, aggressive style that Brown brings onto the floor. Give him a lane to the hoop, and he'll take it.
Back to Maxey. To the inside. Edgecombe, no good. And here are the Celtics. Now here's Brown. In the game against Cleveland, very impressive. Lays it up and banks it in. First quarter of play, a minute in. Maxey surveys. Pass to George. Nifty move. It's rebounded by Walsh. White finds Brown. They set the pick. And Brown with the stuff.
And check out the handles from Brown. Just carving up the defense like a Thanksgiving turkey.
And Tim, after a rough season, the Sixers with some lottery luck last May.
Yeah, there was a good chance their draft pick would convey to OKC if it didn't stay in the bottom 6. Instead, they moved up to 3rd, and they were able to draft B.J. Edgecombe, who could be a difference maker.
Brown taking on all challengers. This kind of fearless approach is what his teammates and coaches love seeing.
Inside, here's Embiid. And then Embiid with the dunk.
Oh, that was nasty. A 2-hand mega slam.
Man, I don't think anyone was going to stop him there. Pass to Walsh. Back to Brown. Now, if you're just tuning in, we've played about 2.5 minutes here in the first. Pick by Vucevic. 5 on the clock. Brown passes to White. Back to Brown. 3-pointer. White can't hit.
Well, they missed one after 4 straight makes. Still a good start to the game.
Embiid, a screen on White. Outside Maxey. Here's Embiid. Again, Philadelphia.
You know, one thing about Maxey is that he always is looking for an outlet.
Here's White. 8 points in his last time out. Pass to Brown. They set the screen. To the inside. Walsh. And down it goes. Dumped it through off a beautiful setup.
Yeah, he gives up a few inches to most of his matchups, but his ability to rise above always gives him a chance.
Here's Edgecombe. No points yet. Driving inside for 3. George. And he's in the books. Now 1 for 2.
Well, the numbers don't lie. Paul George has been one of the most accurate 3-point shooters of his generation.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, Allie LaForce.
Thanks. The Sixers are trying to pull it all together. Joel Embiid said, "We still can compete for a championship, but this is going to take time. We have a lot of talent, but we still have to go out and actually do it. It's just hard. We've got a pretty good chance to accomplish something." Back over to you guys.
It's all about health. All right, Allie, thanks a lot.
Yeah, we know Edgecombe has the athleticism to get through that inside resistance, but the control is also impressive.
Now here's Brown. 6 points for him. Vucevic finds Brown. Pick by Vucevic. Brown against Embiid. Drive by Brown. And the jam by Brown.
And the defense didn't even see Brown coming, driving in hard and making a statement.
Pass to Embiid. Here's Edgecombe, defended by Brown. Rebound Boston. This game coming on the heels of their win versus the Cavaliers.
They really had a strong night shooting the basketball. They got hot and stayed hot.
Well, I just thought they had the tempo exactly where they wanted it. To me, that was the difference in the game.
The Celtics have got 6 of 8 shots to go.
And no stranger to physical play. JB busting it up in there without fear.
Boston shooting their first free throws of this game. Free throw good. Brown. And it's a completely new group for the 76ers. And both free throws good for Brown. Well, Grant, we could be in for a spooky game tonight as these two teams face off on Halloween.
I think I saw some costumes out in the crowd. And, you know, it does make this game feel extra special, B.A. It's always fun when you get to show off in a holiday game.
And it's the 2K leaderboard. Team leaders in blocks last season. Fifth best, the Celtics.
And last year, their rim protection was unbelievable. Teams actually turned down shots in the lane.
He's off on the first.
Embracing his role as a leader for this squad, Lowry recognizes the importance of this in terms of developing his teammates.
And he nails the third. 1:33 left in the first. And here's Brown. 10 points for him. And he drains it. A solid 5 for 6 now.
They're finding ways to get the ball into the paint. 5 consecutive buckets.
Now Lowry. Pass to Barlow. And a foul called on the way up. So he'll take 2 from the free throw line. It's going to belong to Nikola Vucevic. And a closer look here at the scoring breakdown for Boston.
In the early goings, their effort level has been exceptional. They're speeding around the defense and opening up options with good penetration.
And another thing that has really opened up the rest of the floor is their damage from the mid-range area.
Embiid, he's checked in for Philadelphia. It's both from the stripe. And 1:01 left in the first quarter. Picked by Vucevic. And Brown with the stuff.
Yeah, taking over this one in effortless fashion. When Brown is cooking like this, keep working the ball to him.
Pass to Barlow. Now Embiid. Outside Grimes. Launches it. Philadelphia with another miss. And White has got the ball here for the Boston Celtics. Picked by Vucevic. Brown passes to Vucevic. Kick out to Brown. And he lobs it up to the rim. Up high and down it goes on the lob.
Yeah, and we've seen Brown take strides as a playmaker out of the pick and roll.
It's Edwards on the wing. Back to Watford. Pass to Barlow. Outside Grimes. From deep. Knocks it down from distance.
Well orchestrated. And then the pass is right on the money.
It's been all about Jaylen Brown for the Boston Celtics. Absolutely carrying the offense. He ends the quarter with 14. Back after this. And this has been a fairly close game through the first quarter. We'll see what happens here in the second. And for the Celtics here, guys, what jumps out to you stat-wise?
Well, there's no reason to take risky shots when you can collect points at the rim.
Had a feeling this was going to be their strategy coming in. They've got a major size advantage to be able to execute this.
On the court for the Celtics, second quarter underway. White and Brown team up as the backcourt. Then it's Sam Hauser. Then there's Nikola Vucevic. And it's Walsh in at the 4 slot. Now here's Watford. He's scoreless. Here's Embiid. Embiid muscles through the contact.
Well, the defense did everything they could right there, but against a player like Embiid with that kind of power, it's just not enough.
And here's Brown for 3. And again, Boston with the triple.
And his fantastic performance from the last game has carried over to tonight.
When someone is rolling like this, just keep feeding him. That's just great coaching.
Here's Barlow. Embiid inside. Covered by Vucevic. Inside, Embiid Embiid gets the advantage.
Well, listen, if Embiid gets the ball that close to the rim, it is over. You have to deny position.
Tim, these recent injuries robbing Embiid of prime years. 7 straight All-Star appearances up to 2025.
Yeah, B.A., for a player his size that moves as quickly as he does, it seems like it put a tremendous amount of strain on those lower extremities. It's a common theme in this league.
So it's Philadelphia now, following the bucket by the Celtics. 4-3. He can't get that one to fall. Shot from the mid-range. Again, the Celtics good for 2 more.
A superb mid-range shooter. All Brown needs is some separation, and he's ready to pull up.
So Nick Nurse has decided to call a timeout here. A moment to rest and confer on the game plan. And Philadelphia making a change here. Maxi's checked in. Second quarter of play with around 2 minutes gone so far. Edwards, the pass to Maxi. To the middle. Here's Grimes. And it's flushed down. A nice jam.
Oh, come on, B.A. I mean, where's the defense? That's just too easy.
Yeah, they got to do a much better job in help.
That's the kind of play that can spark a run. A dunk like that energizes everyone on the team.
Brown gets the bucket.
His efficiency throughout this game has really been something, and his team has been able to succeed in large part because of it.
Now here's Embiid. Really had troubles in the loss to Washington. He just couldn't find his rhythm. Shot clock at 6. And here's Edwards outside. Jaylen Brown with a rebound. Celtics lead by 7. Here's Brown on the drive. White finds Brown. Here's the pick. Throws it up high. Alley-oop up top. Hammer it home.
And the lead increases on a crazy offensive sequence.
Man, the dunk alone would have been incredible, let alone the fact that it came off a pinpoint pass. Embiid misses.
And you see the frustration on his face. He had a great opportunity there, and he blew it.
Outside, Brown. Pass to Walsh. The 3 is up. And Grimes pulls it down. 76ers trail by 9. Outside Maxi. Outside Grimes. Here's Barlow. Back to Grimes from outside the arc. And it's cleared by Vucevic. Vucevic has got 4 rebounds now. It's Brown on the wing. 23 points in the game. Fires for 3. And Brown knocking down the triple.
He's going off this quarter. A huge reason why this team is on top.
So Nick Nurse has decided to call timeout here. I think right now he might be looking at some adjustments. Their last meeting was in Boston, where they were unable to fight off the Celtics.
Their reserves have to step up this time around and get stops. That was the difference the last time these teams played.
Looking at who's out there now for Philadelphia. George, he's checked in for Joel Embiid. Oubre comes in for Edwards. And it's Edgecombe in for Grimes. Oh, swiped away. Oh, a rim-rattling two-handed jam.
Wow, B.J. Edgecombe. I have a feeling we'll be seeing a lot of these highlight reel plays over his career.
And Brown with the stuff.
Oh, telling the defender to take a seat.
And so it's Maxi with it. He brings it up for the 76ers. A 12-point game. Defeated by Washington in their last game. They'll try to put that one behind them.
On the road, they got owned defensively. They just couldn't match the activity level of their opponent.
Well, that's the big challenge. Teams tend to feel more comfortable at home for sure, so you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. That just didn't happen in this one.
Here's Brown, following that last three-pointer by Philadelphia. And we've got 1:18 left in the second. Oh, look out! JB throwing it down.
Yeah, tonight has been all about Jaylen Brown, a legit star in this league.
The three from Edgecombe. It's rebounded by Walsh. Celtics lead by 11. Right side Brown. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Boston needs to get off a shot here. And Vucevic slams it in.
Love it when Vucevic attacks with intent. He has the size and strength to dominate around the cup.
Here's Edgecombe, defended by Brown. For 3, Maxey. Good work defensively by White.
Practically a block. Good, strong challenge.
He didn't quite get a hand on it, but he did enough to affect the miss.
Now here's Brown. This is the most they've led, 13 points.
A quality three-point shooter, Brown stretches your defense, making Jaylen that much harder to guard.
George for 3. The shot off that time. And so it's the Boston Celtics with an impressive 16-point lead heading into the break. Great team defense on Paul George. They're limiting what PG is doing out there. All right, stick around. We'll be right back after this.
Fans, please direct your attention to center court and get ready for the fan half-court shot.
Welcome, one and all. Before we hear Kenny and Shaq's insights on that first half, let's look ahead and check out the upcoming schedule.
Well, right now for Boston, you expect this game to go down to the wire, and if it does, it'll be good for the coaches to see who performs well late in a tight game.
Invaluable information, no doubt. Now we'll take a look back at that first half. What an all-around performance it was for the Celtics.
They're teaching a course on the interior, Shaq, the philosopher of the big Aristotle.
Yeah, pounded in there repeatedly. Excellence is a habit, not an action.
Appreciate you joining us. It's been our distinct pleasure, and I mean that. Let's now take you back over to the third quarter with Brian Anderson.
And we're ready to get this second half of our Halloween broadcast going. Jaylen Brown having a dominant impact in this game.
I'll tell you what, he's still working on his playmaking skills, but he's been tremendous so far in finding the open man.
Well, this team has trusted him with this level of responsibility, and it's easy to see why.
Well, Grant, as more and more teams look to get up and down, you think that lends itself to going deeper down the roster?
Oh, definitely, B.A. Also, with the G League and bigger coaching staffs enabling end-of-the-bench guys to get more reps, it helps them stay ready when their number is called.
Maxey and Edgecombe man the backcourt. George and Embiid are up front, and it's Oubre in at the 3 slot. That's the group for Nick Nurse getting going here in the second half. Here's Embiid, and he drains it. A solid 5 for 6 now.
Well, if you're talking about one of the best in the mid-range area of the floor, Embiid has to be in that discussion for center.
Brown passes to White. Back to Brown. Hauser outside. Takes the 3. Rebound by Philadelphia.
And just terrible defense. I don't know how he missed that shot.
Outside Maxey. Pass to Edgecombe. Philadelphia moving it around. Screen by Embiid to the paint. It goes again. His 6th basket in 7 tries.
Well, if Embiid gets rolling like this, what are you going to do? There's no way to stop him with all of that power.
Drive by Brown. All right, with this break, let's take a look at the teams that were the toughest to score against last year. Boston in second.
They made life hard on opponents. One of the best defenses in the NBA last year.
And both free throws good for Brown.
And that's about what we expect. He's been excellent from the line tonight.
So Nick Nurse has decided to call a timeout here. And we might see some changes. Coach potentially looking to adjust. Just a little over 90 seconds gone in the third quarter. George finds Oubre. 6 to shoot. Again, the Sixers score.
Excellent execution coming out of the break. They've taken 3 shots and made 3 shots.
White, the pass to Brown. And now around 2 minutes gone by in this half. Pass to Walsh. Back to Brown. Oh, there's the shot clock violation. So they'll turn it over.
Sixers ball.
76ers trail by 12. Just under 2.5 minutes into this third quarter now. Here's Embiid. And it's cleared by Vucevic. Vucevic has got his 5th rebound in this one.
They really have a commanding lead, not just in points, but in rebounds as well.
Brown passes to White. Back to Brown. Pass to Walsh. And all around the rim that time before dropping. Walsh has got 10 points in the game.
And we've watched Brown evolve his game. Playmaking has been at the forefront of his development.
Let's check in with our reporter, Allie LaForce.
Hey guys, Tyrese Maxey, a late first-round pick back in 2020, but he's become an all-star. He said, quote, "I've always had that chip with me from day one. I had to earn everything I got from a basketball perspective and make a name for myself. I try hard to foresee and envision this." Brian, back to you.
The drive for greatness. All right, Allie, appreciate the report.
That's a cold start out of the break. Only one of his first 4 has he gotten to go.
Maxey against White. Outside Maxey. From the top of the key. The rebound, Celtics. Brown's got 8 rebounds in the game. How about the motor of Tyrese Maxey, Tim? He just does not quit ever.
He's one of those guys who tracks the most miles run during games. Maxey probably wears out his shoes faster than anyone. Sharp turns, hard cuts. He's always on the move.
So Nick Nurse has decided to call timeout here. He's going to gather the troops and talk it over. Barlow's checked in for George. White against Maxey. Pass to Edgecombe. Shot clock at 5. And the layup is good off the glass. He's got 9.
A solid finisher in close. Edgecombe's agility lets him find good angles.
Brown, a screen on Oubre. Kick out to Brown. Tipped away. It's stolen by Maxey. Pass to Edgecombe. Here's Barlow. Outside Oubre. Outside Maxey. Down low. Embiid. And then Embiid with the dunk.
Well, the defense has to push Embiid farther away from the rim. You can't make the game this easy for him.
Left side, Brown. Outside White. 6 on the shot clock. Picked by Vucevic. Brown passes to Vucevic. Embiid with a steal. Here's Edgecombe. And the dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
So athletic. I mean, that slashing ability is what made Edgecombe a top 3 pick.
Outside, Brown. Pass to Walsh. Back to Brown. Shot clock at 6. Outside White. 3-pointer, Vucevic gets the 3 to fall. Vucevic has got his 2nd basket of the night.
The sure stroke of Vucevic when he added that 3-point shot in his 6th season. He has loads of trust in his jumper.
Embiid against Vucevic. Embiid inside. And it's cleared by Vucevic. Vucevic has got his 6th rebound on the night.
And they're up considerably because of their efforts on the glass.
And Hauser, here we go. Oh, and makes it with the kiss. Hauser's got 5 now.
And trust me, when the D's slow to react, he'll be the first guy to make them pay.
Well, the way this game is going, I'm actually not surprised it was that easy for him.
3-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Philadelphia moving it around. Here's Edgecombe, defended by Brown. Going inside, Edgecombe, no good. And so it's Boston liking their chances, ending the quarter with a 15-point lead. They just can't miss right now. Every shot they're taking, you assume, is going in. And more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way right after this. And there have been 2 very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. 76ers trail by 15. On the floor for Boston. White and Brown team up as the backcourt. Then there's Nikola Vucevic. Then it's Sam Hauser. And it's Walsh in at the power forward position.
He created the opening. He got the angle. Unfortunately, that miss is just on him.
It's Brown on the wing, covered by Grimes. Shoots from 14, and the basket by Brown. Brown's got 39.
And that is killer instinct, just continuing to pile it on.
And the jam by Brown.
They're really dictating the tempo on both ends of the court. You love it.
And they just keep building out this lead. With each made basket, their confidence increases.
Watford outside, fires the 3. Boston pulls it in. Brown's got 10 rebounds here tonight. So active. Now here's Hauser, guarded by Edwards. There's a screen. Here's Brown, and denied. He sends it right off the glass. Grimes, the pass to Watford. Pass to Barlow. Misses from close range.
Ooh, old school right there. No easy buckets.
And here's Brown for 3. And Watford pulls it down.
Well, after spacing the floor for them in the first half, he's gone cold from out there.
Here's Grimes. Nice shot from the wing. Here's White. Outside, Brown. Drives to the hoop. And the jam by Brown.
Oh, a huge slam from Brown. I like when he doesn't settle for a layup there.
Watford the pass to Barlow. Back to Watford. Outside Grimes. Pass to Barlow. Here's Embiid. Banked it in off the glass.
I love the confidence Embiid plays with, especially this close to the rim.
Boston leading by 17. Here's Brown, using his post moves to get the 2 points. Brown's got 8 here in this quarter.
And I bet he wishes they could play this team every night. Things are going great out there offensively.
And so it's Nick Nurse calling timeout here. He clearly wants to talk it over and make sure everyone is focused. And some changes here for the 76ers. Edgecombe, he's checked in for Barlow. And it's Tyrese Maxey in for Edwards. Here's Watford. Off the left rim and out. Boston's gotten 5 of their 9 attempts from deep to go. Pass to Edgecombe. Now here's Embiid. The shot. Nails the baby hook. 18 points for Joel Embiid.
They've struggled, but hey, you cannot lay it at his feet. Offensively, he's getting it done.
Back to Brown. Fires from deep. Nails it from 3. Brown's got 48 After seeing a franchise player like Luka Doncic traded, you think there's anyone who is truly untouchable now, Tim?
Well, I tell you what, that trade, BA, made me realize nobody in this league is immovable. You just don't know what the future holds, and I think fewer guys will stay with one team their entire careers.
That was a shocker for sure. It's stolen by Maxey. Pass to Watford. One question facing the league here, Tim. How do you make the All-Star game more competitive?
Well, BA, the tournament structure seemed to help a bit, but until just a competitive mentality around the game changes, I think the only thing you can do is maybe up the ante as far as prize money. I do think that did seem to matter for the NBA Cup.
Having done a few of those games, care factor's low. They could improve on that.
I completely agree. It seemed to matter a lot more back when I played.
He's really become a better all-around player. Brown's passing continues to evolve. Nice find.
And timeout is called by Nick Nurse, rallying his guys to make sure they all know the plan. And one of our featured players tonight earns our Player of the Game award, Jaylen Brown.
He has truly put on a show out there tonight, tearing it up on both ends of the floor. So impressive. And the other squad has looked helpless to stop him.
Boy, it's not hard to be blown away by his level of play. It's never easy winning on the road, but to do it in this fashion, that's a special performance right there. Boston leading by 22. All right, time for an injury report.
Hey guys, the head athletic trainer for the 76ers let me know the status. He let me know that it's a strained hip, which causes plenty of soreness and shooting pain in that area. While it took some time for him to completely recover from this injury, there is a chance that he could play on it. So we'll be monitoring him closely. Back to you.
Okay, Allie, thanks.
Well, we certainly wish him the best during his recovery process. But right now, it's really next man up.
And here are the Celtics. They're on a 15-6 run.
And let's face it, this one was never really in question. They came out with purpose and just overwhelmed the opposition. A great win for the Celtics.
Pretty clear who the better team was today. They dominated in just about every phase of this game, Grant.
BA, it's almost hard to think what didn't go well for them. Their plan, their execution, everything was absolutely on point.
And with this win, they've tallied up a total of 6 wins on the year.
But they've got 2 more chances to get some revenge. The matchup doesn't favor them, but against a conference opponent, they're gonna battle hard.
And as it was happening, as it was building, you knew this was a monster game for Jaylen Brown.
Well, what a highlight reel he put together, playing his game and contributing in a big way.
Edgecombe, no good. 6-second difference between the shot clock and game clock. Pass to Walsh, back to Brown. Outside White. 6 to shoot. Brown passes to Vucevic. Crafty move, and a great assist by Brown as that one goes in.
You got to give them respect. They're doing everything they can to close this out.
And this run should seal this win. What a timely burst.
So we see the Celtics taking the W here. And remember, tonight's win means they're 1-0 in the NBA Cup. A great start to the group stage.
Well, getting that first win under your belt is huge. They still have 3 games left, but they're in a great position going forward.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For reporter Allie LaForce and for Tim Legler and Grant Hill, this is Brian Anderson saying thank you for joining us. And now, time for our player of the game, Jaylen Brown.